Get free vouchers.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. This is Game On and I'm your host Neha Bharadwaj. Alter, the future of Champions Trophy 2025 is still uncertain. Where will it be played? What are the venues going to be? Will India travel to Pakistan? That is the only thing that we're clear about at this moment, that India have said they will not be traveling to Pakistan. What then? What is the next step? We're just a few months away from the dates of the Champions Trophy, which is set to begin on 19th of February. Now, there was a meeting that was held, ICC's meeting. I'll get you all the details of that meeting. It was an emergency meeting of the International Cricket Council's Executive Board on the much-awaited Champions Trophy schedule, but it was adjourned after it could not achieve a consensus and will reconvene in the next few days. Sources close to News 9 have said that Pakistan once again rejected the hybrid model of hosting the event. The meeting was brief. It lasted all of 20 minutes after Pakistan Cricket Board Chief Mohsin Naqvi, he made it clear that the hybrid model won't be acceptable. So ICC's board meeting adjourned after brief discussions. Mohsin Naqvi, he said it will not be acceptable, the hybrid model, so no solution in sight for Champions Trophy in Pakistan. India, they've already refused to travel to Pakistan owing to security concerns. There is no solution in sight at the moment as Pakistan refused to budge. The meeting will continue over the next few days where the members will look to find a solution. This meeting was held briefly, like I said, for 20 minutes before the board members decided to meet again soon. All 15 members of the board, 12 full members and 3 directors from the associate nations, they are believed to have attended the meeting. Sources have also told News 9 that all members are willing to work together to find a way out of this solution. One source said, and I quote, all parties continue to work towards a positive resolution for the Champions Trophy 2025. So the board did meet briefly today. All parties continue to work towards a positive resolution for the Champions Trophy 2025, and it is expected that the board will reconvene in the next few days. Now, let me take you through the series of events. On 10th of November, Pakistan wrote to the ICC informing them that India would not travel to Pakistan due to security concerns. 2 days later, the PCB wrote to the ICC seeking clarification on India's refusal to travel to Pakistan for the Champions Trophy. The communication from Pakistan did not discuss the event format or a potential hybrid model. Now, there were growing concerns, so Mohsin Naqvi, chairman of the PCB, he reiterated Pakistan's firm position. He argued that all other teams were willing to travel to Pakistan and suggested that the Pakistan board is prepared to make necessary security assurances to India. He also said that it was unacceptable for India to expect Pakistan to travel to India for international tournaments in the future while refusing to travel to Pakistan. And now, despite the growing pressure, he remained firm on Pakistan hosting the tournament in its entirety. While this has been happening, there have been protests in Islamabad. So there's been violence which has resulted in Sri Lanka A returning home midway into their series against the Pakistan Shaheens recently. In fact, hours before the meeting, a spokesperson from the Ministry of External Affairs reiterated what the BCCI have issued in the statement, saying that they do have security concerns, which means that it is unlikely to make a trip to Pakistan. India has participated in all 8 editions of the ICC Champions Trophy played so far. The men in blue won the title under MS Dhoni's leadership in 2013 by beating England. And they were declared joint winners in 2002. India also played the finals in 2017 Champions Trophy, but failed to bag the title. So let's take a look at what exactly did the spokesperson from the Ministry of External Affairs had to say about the whole thing.
Indian cricket team participating in Pakistan, the BCCI has issued a statement. So I would refer you to the statement. They have said that there are security concerns there, and therefore it is unlikely the team will be there, going there. But please do refer to the statement issued by the Board of Cricket Control in India.
So India are very clear in their stand. They've always maintained that they're not going to travel to Pakistan, and the best way out of this situation is to go for a hybrid model. But Pakistan are adamant that they are not going to accept that hybrid model, which basically means that India can play their matches at a neutral venue. So stalemate continues on this whole Champions Trophy and its future. Okay. Now we move on. Team India would aim to figure out their batting combination as they face Australia. Prime Minister's 11 in a two-day tour game at the Manuka Oval in Canberra from tomorrow. The Indian think tank will try to solve many riddles in the run-up to the second test in Adelaide. Coming from their most dominant win in Australia in the opening test in Perth, the Indian dressing room now in Adelaide are in high spirits, but their last experience at Adelaide must be worrying the team a little bit. Skipper Rohit Sharma has joined the camp after missing the first test in Perth. India have played 4 day-night tests thus far, with their only loss coming at Adelaide 4 years ago when they were bowled out for 36 before making a winning comeback in the 4-match test series. The pink ball does a lot more compared to the red ball, especially in the twilight period. Considering it is not a first-class game, majority of the Indian batters would like to get a feel of the ball in the middle. However, the arrival of Rohit Sharma, who missed the first test due to the birth of his second child, and expected return of fit again Shubman Gill, will force the think tank to rejig the batting order for the match that is beginning on 6th of December. Rohit and Yashasvi Jaiswal are the designated openers, but with the latter and KL Rahul doing well at the top in Perth, there is a case for the Indian skipper to drop himself down the order. If that does happen, Gill's position will also need to be adjusted. India will have to make those calls in the practice game before reaching Adelaide with full clarity. India are likely to get a green bouncy pitch for the warm-up match in Canberra. Let's listen into what President's 11 captain Jack Edwards and their coach Tim Payne had to say on the eve of that warm-up match.
I had a quick look at it. It seemed like there was a good coverage of grass and felt pretty hard. So I'm sure it'll be a challenge for the batters, particularly at the start of innings with a new ball. And see how the game plays out.
Jack, what does it mean for some of the young players in this PM11 to play against a high-profile side like Indian team, which doesn't play too many, side games on overseas state? It's one of the rarest of the rare players. What does it mean for your team and your players?
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, not only for the young guys, but for the experienced players as well, to come up with the likes of Kohli and Sharma and some of the best players in the world. So, seeing them yesterday at Parliament House and being around them was exciting for all the young guys as well, and I'm sure in the next couple of days.
I think this one's clearly right up there. They've got some of the best players in the world and a couple of the best players that have probably ever played the game in Kohli and Bumrah. So, really exciting challenge for the next group of up-and-coming young Australian cricketers. And I spoke to them this morning. We got some real talent in our change rooms as well. So it's a great stage for them in front of a lot of people, a big audience for them to go out and show how good they are as well.
Tim, you just mentioned World Class.
Okay, with that, we're going to slip into a short break. But on the other side, Iga Swiatek says it's been the most difficult period of her life after she was suspended for a month due to a doping violation. That and more on the other side of this break.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or a cyber crime takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
And you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report in 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. Oh my God. Madam, you are also involved in the Naresh Goyal money laundering case.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. On to football now. Liverpool manager Arne Slot warned not to write off Sunday's opponents Manchester City despite their recent struggles. Slot dismissed any notion that Liverpool can expect an easy day at the office when they host the Premier League champions at Anfield on Sunday. Manchester City's poor form of late has been compiled by the burgeoning injury list, with Mateo Kovacic joining Ballon d'Or winner Rodri on the sidelines to leave a gaping hole in the middle of the park that has allowed opponents to play through City. The four-time reigning Premier League winners followed up a 5-match losing streak, which is the longest on Pep Guardiola's illustrious managerial resume, with a 3-3 draw at home to Feyenoord in the Champions League on Tuesday, blowing a 3-0 advantage with 15 minutes to go. City's poorest defence have leaked 17 goals in their last 6 matches, with Tottenham Hotspur putting 4 past them without reply in their last Premier League outing. Liverpool, meanwhile, are in top form. They are the informed team in Europe, having dispatched reigning European champions Real Madrid 2-0 on Wednesday. They sit first in the Champions League table as the only team with a perfect 5 wins from 5 and have the chance to extend their lead atop the Premier League to 11 points with a win over second-place City. Despite City's indifferent run this season, Slot warned that the citizens can never be taken lightly with the world's best manager, Pep Guardiola, on their side.
Well, I don't think anyone in the last 8 or 9 years, or maybe even longer, would have said that City at home or away. The word easy never comes up to my mind if I think about City. They're easy inside, easier. So, no, not at all. They are still a very, very, very good team. And one of the reasons why I think Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world, or one of the best managers in the world, I think the best though, is that he always comes up with solutions for his problems. So, and his problem now might be that Rodri is out. But we all know, at least I think, that he will come up with a problem that their run of form will go again. Hopefully after Sunday. Well, they're still being assessed, so it's difficult to see where they are. I know where they are, but where they are in terms of the injury. So let's wait and see. But it's never a good sign if players. Connor, I had to take him off, and Ibo didn't walk off the pitch as he should after such a fantastic game that he played. He should have made a round and clapped to the fans, but unfortunately he couldn't. So that's not a good sign.
Manchester United rallied to beat Boda Glimt of Norway 3-2 in the Europa League yesterday to give new manager Ruben Amorim a winning start in his first game at Old Trafford. Rasmus Højlund scored twice and also set up the opening goal scored by Alejandro Garnacho in the opening minute of the game. But United still had to stage a comeback in order to stay unbeaten in the competition with 2 victories and 3 draws. After the visitors took a 2-1 lead, Højlund equalized just before half-time and then scored the winner 5 minutes into the second half from a close range, tapping in across from Manuel Ugarte. After leaving Portuguese leader Sporting Lisbon to replace the fired Erik ten Hag, As United manager, Amorim made his debut in charge of United in a 1-1 draw in Ipswich in the English Premier League, with Marcus Rashford scoring 81 seconds into the game. In the Europa League, the goal came even sooner. Højlund intercepted a back pass to goalkeeper Nikita Häkkinen to allow Garnacho to put United ahead in the first minute itself. Hakan Ercan equalised in the 19th minute with a perfectly directed first-time left-foot strike from the edge of the area, and Philip Zinkernagel gave the Norwegian champion the lead, finishing off a fast counter after Tyrell Malacia failed to stop him. Malacia made his first senior appearance in 550 days and was substituted at half-time by Diogo Dalot. After the match, Amorim said, and I quote, "I see what everybody sees. Good moments, difficult moments. There was some confusion in the end trying to hold on to the result, but the lads did a great job. They ran, they pressed, they tried to do the things we worked on in the last 3 days, and we won." Veteran defender Mats Hummels, his late equaliser, earned Claudio Ranieri's side a 2-2 draw to frustrate Tottenham Hotspur in their Europa League match yesterday. The 35-year-old Germany international Hummels, who was playing his first European match since the Champions League final in July, gave away a penalty in the 5th minute but made amends in stoppage time as he tapped in Angelino's whipped cross. Captain Son Heung-min gave Spurs an early lead with a 5th minute penalty, but Ivan Ndika pulled Roma level in the 20th. Brennan Johnson restored the lead for Tottenham in the first half, but the hosts couldn't hang on as Mats Hummels salvaged a draw in stoppage time. Spurs have been the superior side for much of the match after Son turned in the penalty that Hummels gave away. Brennan Johnson also struck a good first-time finish after Dejan Kulusevski cut back after defender Ivan Ndika had equalised. Stefan El-Shaarawy also struck an excellent volley, which was ruled out by VAR for offside, but Spurs should have extended their lead further in the first half as Johnson had a shot cleared off the line. Dominic Solanke, he saw a shot saved. Son blazed over a rebound after the informed Kulusevski hit the post. Spurs are 9th in the Europa League standings, outside of the top 8 that avoid a play-off match, with matches against Rangers, Hoffenheim and Augsburg to come. Well, number 2 and French Open champion Iga Swiatek has accepted a 1-month suspension after testing positive for banned substance TMZ. Swiatek tested positive in an out-of-competition sample in August, but the International Tennis Integrity Agency accepted that it was caused by contamination of her medication melatonin, which was manufactured and sold in Poland. Swiatek had been taking it for jet lag and sleep issues. As there was no significant fault for negligence, the ITIA offered her a 1-month suspension, which she accepted. ITIA has confirmed the development in a statement. In fact, they said, and I quote, "The player was provisionally suspended from September 12th until October 4th, missing 3 tournaments, which counts towards the sanction, leaving 8 days remaining. In addition, the player also forfeits prize money from the Cincinnati Open, the tournament directly following the test." Swiatek described the ordeal of testing positive as the worst experience of her life.
No I ta sytuacja sprawiła, że było we mnie bardzo dużo lęku.
On September 12th, I learned that my anti-doping test sample collected on August 12th, so before the Cincinnati tournament, tested positive. It was a blow for me. I was shocked, and this whole situation made me very anxious. At first, I couldn't understand how that was even possible and where it came from. It turns out testing revealed historically lowest level of trimetazidine, a substance I've never heard about before. I don't think I even knew it existed. I have never encountered it, nor did the people around me. So I had a strong sense of injustice, and these few weeks were really very chaotic. We instantly reacted and cooperated with the ITIA. The detected concentration, which was extremely low, suggested or made it really obvious that either the sample was contaminated or a supplement or medication that I was taking was contaminated. Which is why we focused on running tests on all the nutritional supplements and medications I was taking. The test showed that melatonin I have been using for a long time. Melatonin is necessary for me because all my traveling, jet lags and work-related stress means that sometimes without it, I couldn't fast asleep and I would be having trouble sleeping. What mattered most for me was it proved me innocent.
30 years after his death in a high-speed crash viewed by millions around the world, Formula One champion Ayrton Senna's high-octane life is also about to play out in front of a global audience. The legendary Brazilian driver was killed when his car hit a concrete wall at the San Marino Grand Prix in 1994. Netflix, they will release a 6-episode series on the Formula One legend. The first episode, which is scheduled for today, the series will follow him from his early go-kart days to that fatal Sunday afternoon at the Imola track in Italy. Even 3 decades after that accident, few F1 figures evokes as much emotion and passion among fans and fellow drivers as Senna, who won 3 championship titles before his death at the age of 34. The complex personality of Senna, who was a saint to his millions of Brazilian fans and a sinner to some critics who deemed his driving style too aggressive, comes to life through Brazilian actor Gabriel Leone, who embraced the challenge of portraying such a popular figure. On the track, Senna's rivalry with French driver Alain Prost was one of the most intense that F1 has ever seen. Off the track, he had some high-profile relationships as well and dated several models, including Elle Macpherson. Ayrton Senna remains the hero of great drivers in history like Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that's all in Game On for all of you today. We leave you with some jaw-dropping visuals from the groundbreaking kayaking recently in the Gapson's challenging Evendo River. Goodbye.
In the fight against child rape and murder, the police plays a crucial role. Their involvement is both proactive and reactive. It includes interventions at the prevention levels and investigation levels as well. Since the Nirbhaya case in 2012, which led to tougher laws against rape, little appears to have changed. But stopping crime against women cannot be left to the police alone.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
न्यूज़ 9 ग्लोबल समिट में आए सभी साथियों को मेरा नमस्कार। मुझे इस बात की भी खुशी है कि न्यूज़ 9 इंग्लिश न्यूज़ चैनल भी लॉन्च किया जा रहा है।
Special congratulations to TV9. Now you are truly becoming global.
And therefore I must congratulate Varun Das ji. He has, in his own way, started an epoch-making trend.
The News 9 Global Summit is the latest example to demonstrate that India and Baden-Württemberg are getting closer in many different respects.
I compliment Mr. Jubali, Mr. Varun Das and Mr. Casper conceptualizing and organizing this grand platform.
And I really want to thank TV9 Group, and it's a harbinger of many things to come.
Hello.
If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or a cyber crime takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ।
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it in 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ।
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से। ओह माय गॉड, मैडम यू आर ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द नरेश गोयल मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केस।
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.